What is a professional brand, and why does it matter to you if you're going to engage in social selling? There's this notion that professional branding, or personal branding as it's often called, is just something that marketing types think about, or people having a hard time finding a job and want to stand out in a job fair. We need to dispel that myth here because having a strong, clear brand is incredibly important for sales professionals who use social media. Why? Because people categorize. We do it all the time. We do it fast, and most of the time, we do it wrong. Your prospects will form snap opinions about who you are and how you can or can't be of value to them in an instant. They'll base their opinion heavily on snap judgments and first impressions, and that is your brand, the impressions left over after you leave the room. So, for a moment, set aside how great your product is and pricing and features and what a top-notch negotiator you are. That brand is what drives buyer behavior. Put yourself in your customer's shoes. Imagine that you are potentially interested in hiring a company to do some in-house technology training for a group of employees. Your company doesn't have a dedicated vendor for training, so you're about to hunt around for a training provider when you remember that, as it happens, you've connected on social media with a rep from a training company. So you follow through to this guy's profile. Here he is. Prescott Big Deal. A selfie probably isn't the best choice, but we'll let that pass for the moment. He presents himself as an account manager, and there's not a lot here to suggest that he understands either technology or training. But here's some sales awards. A former manager gave him a recommendation which, while positive, probably isn't helping him build trust with clients. And if you look at what he's posting, here it is, a lot of really self-congratulatory fluff about his company, interspersed with posts where he shares his thoughts on celebrity news, drivers who annoy him, it would seem. So what do you think? Is this the person you're going to call first? Or do we keep the tab open and go look for a training company on Google? And then, sure, you want to close 17 tabs. Lose Mr. Wheeler Dealer forever when you close up shop at the end of the day. What he's really missing here is a little bit of professional branding to help him tighten up his profile so that it's aligned with what his customers are looking for. If I was looking at Prescott, I'd say he might be an accomplished sales professional, but that he doesn't seem to put much thought into his clients' needs. I'd say that some of what he writes is a little off-putting. I'd say that there isn't anything here that distinguishes Prescott from the 10,000 other sales reps' profiles. So now it's your turn. Let's find out how. Intentionally or not, your peers are branding themselves on social media. Download the Social Selling 60 course guide if you haven't done so yet, and go to Lecture 4, Brand Positioning. You can keep it short and sweet, knock this exercise off in 10 or 15 minutes, or you can spend a few hours digging deeper for a more complete understanding of how others in your space are branding themselves online. Really, however much you have time for. Either way, give it a shot, and then in the next lecture, we'll draw on that understanding to craft a personal, professional brand which best speaks to your prospects on social media.